What an absolute batshit crazy month April has been for fans of RPGs. Like, this has just been crazy. I guess it's officially Barbieheimer, or Expedition Oblivion, as an insane launch week for RPG fans has now seen the shadow drop of the remake of one of the most beloved RPGs of all time, and one of the most exciting and tantalizing looking new IP turn-based RPGs is complete with a star-studded cast. It's all coming this week. And that's really just like the tip of the iceberg for what has really been an incredible month so far. And I really just want to kind of decompress with you and talk about this a little bit and say, what's going on, and really just see what all this is about. All these cool and amazing things, from Baldur's Gate 3 dropping patch 8 to Expedition 33 to the Oblivion remake to a new Star Wars game, a new Star Wars tactical RPG. Let's just talk about it. First, and my most immediate concern, as I am so freaking ready to play this game and be hurt by this game, Expedition 33 is launching this week. In fact, it's launching on the 24th. Reviews will be dropping on Wednesday, so we'll get an idea of what the reviewers thought of the game right before then. Expedition 33 is a turn-based JRPG-inspired game from a brand new studio, Sandfall Interactive, that looks and plays absolutely incredible. I know that in part because I got to play a creator preview build for the game just shy of 10 hours of gameplay and story last month. The game is gorgeous, the combat is crisp, the acting is incredible, and I cannot wait to dive into this game, which promises an engaging story with about 30 or so hours of content. It's got a star-studded cast from Andy Serkis, Gollum, to Jennifer English, Shadowheart, Ben Starr of Balatro and Final Fantasy XVI fame, and many, many more. There's reunions aplenty for BG3 fans in this one for actors, not to mention freaking Daredevil himself, Charlie Cox. This is a game I'll be sinking my time into first and foremost this week, starting with a long stream on Friday the 25th if you want to join me here and on Twitch. But I do have to admit, I'm a little bit thankful that this is not going to be a 100-hour plus RPG, because another game decided to launch this week too that I'm also extremely excited about. Because Bethesda went and shadow dropped one of the best RPGs ever as a remaster, or honestly, it's a remake. It really just feels like a remake. Basically a big ass overhaul.
Find him and close shut the jaws of Oblivion.
It had been rumored for ages that a shadow drop of Elder Scrolls Oblivion's remake was due any day now in April, creating a broad word-of-mouth marketing campaign, complete with leaks and rumors and retracted rumors that kept the game in the media cycle despite no actual official announcement until April 21st, when they officially announced a reveal on April 22nd, today. at least today when I'm recording this. The reveal included heartfelt comments from the teams of both Virtuos and Bethesda talking about Oblivion and working on the remake and trying to stay as true to the game as they could, remastering it rather than remaking it, but also making it stunningly beautiful. I mean, I just kept, every time I was watching during the reveal, I could, like, anytime something with fur came on, I was like amazed, like, this looks insane. This game looks so freaking good. Except for the the run animations a little bit. It's got some jank to it. The initial response to the game has been largely positive, with lots of people loving it and it already starting to do very, very well on Steam and elsewhere with very positive reviews. The remake is one of the best RPGs in the Elder Scrolls catalog in my opinion. For me personally, I've forgotten a lot of the major story beats, but I still remember just being in awe at the scope that was possible and a couple moments that really shocked me, especially one very early on. I can't wait to jump back in, and thankfully we'll get to soon once I complete Expedition 33. The game is available on Steam, PS5, and Xbox, including Xbox Game Pass, though for a game this large you might just want to have it in your library, and to do that it'll run you $50, unless you want the God's Cursed Horse Armor DLC, which is included in their deluxe edition for an additional $10. The horse armor that changed gaming forever. If you know, you know. Fuck. I should also mention that Expedition 33, the game we mentioned at the top of this, is also on Game Pass day one. So you can get kind of a double bang for your buck there. Or you can buy Expedition 33 directly, which right now is only $45 on Steam with a short pre-order discount, and then I believe it'll go to $50. Kind of insane that we're getting two of the biggest RPGs potentially of this year for $50 freaking dollars. But this Oblivion remake, it could potentially be the largest RPG of this year. People kind of underestimate at times just how big Elder Scrolls is and how beloved Oblivion and Morrowind were before Skyrim came and kind of took over. In fact, there's actually been a project in the works for years of trying to remake Oblivion in Skyrim, and that mod is called Skyblivion, which kind of a fun little thing here. Bethesda gave game keys to the entire mod team for Skyblivion, which is just kind of a nice, cool gesture that they're kind of recognizing what this team has been working on. And Skyblivion has been nothing but responsive and happy and cheering on this IP that they love, even though I'm guessing they kind of got a little bit blindsided by the fact that Bethesda was making an official remaster that happens to launch the same year that Skyblivion will finally be launching. But hey, Skyblivion looks great too, and I'm really excited for that to come out as well, which is still planned for 2025. We just don't know exactly when in 2025 yet. At the very least, Elder Scrolls fans will be eating well after a long, long drought as we wait for Elder Scrolls 6, which might die before it comes out. But hey, at least we got a remaster, and we'll have the Skyblivion mod soon too. And the horse armor, the fucking horse armor. But I mentioned a Star Wars game, and I freaking love Star Wars. In fact, it's one of my favorite IPs of all time. And I'm really excited about this one that was announced at the Star Wars Celebration, so I want to talk about it with you. Now, this is not as shocking as Oblivion or even our next big game on the list after this, but we got a thrilling announcement around the Star Wars title that was so exciting I just had to throw it in here because we're finally getting a new Star Wars title that is being lovingly referred to as Star Wars XCOM. For good reason, as former Firaxis devs are actually working on the game, Zero Company. Now, unlike the titles of the rest of this video, which you can basically play right now, this isn't released yet and in fact won't be coming out until 2026 for PC and console, but it's extremely compelling. A strategy-based game where you'll control both custom characters and Star Wars authored characters in a gritty, turn-based tactics game from Bit Reactor and Respawn that takes place during the twilight of the Clone Wars. It's a game that will lean heavily into tactics but also create compelling moments and potentially devastating decisions, as there's an option for permadeath. Yes, you can lose your favorite people in this game. They can die from your bad decisions. Oh fuck, that's gonna be happening to me too, isn't it? Oh no, I make lots of bad decisions. But yes, you can potentially lose your favorite Jedi or clone trooper that you've grown very attached to to messing up on the tactics and getting a blaster bolt from a destroyer droid in the wrong place. The announcement trailer we got from Star Wars Celebration looks beautiful. It promises a smaller, more focused story away from the broader conflict. As they call it in the trailer, the war beneath the war. It will be mission-based, so you won't be traversing an open world, or galaxy, I guess, but the game has jumped right up my list of the most anticipated list for next year, alongside titles like Exodus and titles like Fable. Next year sounds like it's gonna be a great year for RPG fans and tactical fans and turn-based combat fans as well. But getting back to surprise shadow drops, Jagex, the developer behind the massive MMORPG Runescape, decided to go ahead and just shadow drop a recently announced survival RPG earlier this month, where between fighting goblins, talking to ghosts, and running from dragons, you can chop down trees with spectral magic axes and blow up rocks with magic explosions. When the game was first announced, I figured this would be coming out maybe summer 2025, but they kind of just shocked everyone by dropping it during a live stream, much like Oblivion. I suppose April really became the month of the shadow drops. It's a blend of RPG and survival, somewhat like Enshrouded and maybe a little bit more like Valheim, and it's got potential legs to it. I covered it more in detail on my MMO channel, which I'll link down below if you're interested, but essentially it's still an early access title and it has some work to be done, but it's really compelling and fun. But now we have to talk about a bittersweet one, because it's in a way an end of an era.
Lace your heart with mine, let your sleeping soul take flight, take me through the night, down, down, down by the river, down, down, down by the river.
I saved this for the end because it hurts a little bit while also being exciting. Larian dropped the actual final patch for Baldur's Gate 3 outside of hot fixes or bug fixes. Patch 8 brought with it a heap of goodies, from 12 new subclasses to photo mode to crossplay. It's a fitting parting gift from Larian as they continue to work on their unannounced RPGs outside of the Forgotten Realms IP. Photo mode alone, I'm certain, will provide hours of fun for this community, as well as the exciting new subclasses. I want to take a moment here just to talk about my own love for Baldur's Gate 3 in this probably not last video I'll do on Baldur's Gate 3, but one like a bittersweet capstone to the event. Baldur's Gate 3 in a large way is why I decided to make this channel, because it reinstilled this love of RPGs for me in a game that it really hit me so hard how important and special that RPG was. I had been making MMORPG videos and I've been throwing RPG videos in there in between, but I decided after Baldur's Gate 3 it was time to give RPGs their own space, and thus you got this channel. So it's a game that means quite a lot to me. Baldur's Gate 3 has been an anomaly, an incredible game that has maintained, shockingly, near 100,000 players on Steam consistently since its near 1 million player peak at launch. For a single player game, granted it does have co-op, that is completely unheard of, and it's a testament to the passion and love that went into this game, and how it's been received by its players. Which, speaking of passion and love for Baldur's Gate 3, there's another thing that I want to talk about. Because you also found out that one of the biggest mods for Baldur's Gate 3 now has hundreds of volunteers working on it. A mod that will span 3 acts, have fully voiced companions and characters, and take you back to locations you'll remember from Baldur's Gate games of the past. Path to Menzoberranzan, a mod that you can find out more about in this video right here. My name is Edward Flynn. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day and enjoy this crazy month of RPGs. I'll be playing Expedition 33 as soon as I can.